Hi folks, and welcome to the Filmulmuk channel. I'm at one of my favorite places, and I thought I'll give you some thoughts about bushcraft in general, how to get started, and what you actually need. And the thing is, so I'm not a stranger to buying myself stuff. I love buying gear, but fact is, a lot of people get a little bit intimidated because they see all that awesome footage on the internet, and they think, yeah, I need to I need to do this and that in order to be a bushcrafter or a survivalist or whatever, and I need to be a special forces guy and stuff. And there's a lot of toxic masculinity around, even with the girls, and that's a rather weird sensation. And I can't. I don't want to do any bashing for any. I don't want to bash anyone. It's not my. That is not what I'm all about. It's just a lot of people tend to think, yeah, you need that Carinthia defense 4, and you need this, and you need that. And fact is, those things are really great, and it's. I'm not saying that's not a good thing to have, but actually, to me, I don't like the term bushcraft, and I don't like the term survival, because I grew up in the forest, and in a house in the forest. Just so to clarify, but and we did. What we did was where we foraged for mushrooms and herbs and a lot of stuff like that, and did a little bit of whittling, and that was about it. It was we also slept in the woods, but it was nothing special. It was not an overnighter won't kill you, even if you don't have a sleeping bag at all. It's just a lot of people don't get started because, well, it's they think it must be free solo and what have you. And thing is, you don't need to. And what you can do, however, is especially in Germany, I refer to that in an older video, that it's not that easy to do anything in Germany that is that involves overnighters, sleeping outside, lighting a fire, and all that stuff. You obviously, in a pinch, you can sleep out if you need to, but that's a little bit of a twilight zone. It's just not that easy to say that you can do that and you are safe if you just use a tarp or a sleeping bag or a bivouac bag or something. That's not that easy, because if you are in a conservation area or anything, and you do anything like, well, even if you pick up a dry branch, that can be unlawful. And of course you can do stealth, and that's none of my business. If you I'm not someone denouncing anyone and stuff. It's just I want to emphasize that this is not as easy, and personally I have a rather good contact to the Bureau of Forestry Commissions and the local hunters and the local landowners, and this is because I'm aware of this, and so well, given that can be a hindrance, and you can get mad at the authorities and everything. But on the other hand, well, that also means there is not that big pressure. You don't need to walk through Lapland in February. You don't need to. You can, if you do some thorough planning, if you prepare yourself for that, and you train for that, and then you do that, and it's an awesome adventure you will live off in your entire life. I've done stuff like that, and that's was a really good experience, and I can only encourage you to do this. But on the other hand, if you always look at the maximum and always think, well, that guy on the internet, well, that's the tough guy and stuff, and well, the reason why I do these crappy clips, one take, and sometimes I'm fumbling for words and sometimes things go awry, is that I want to show you, well, I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I'm not the next big thing. What I want to do, however, is inspire you, and I want to keep it real. I want to keep it realistic, and that said, well, there are awesome bushcraft knives out there, and it is not. There's no discussion that you will need one or the other kind of knife, and in order to go foraging, to carve stuff, to carve your tent pegs, to do this, do that. There's a million uses for a knife in the woods, and but a lot of people these days who want to get started just cannot afford, say, a Castrum or even a Mora, one of the bigger ones, Gorberg or something. And what I want to say is, to get started, that's not necessary. And if you look at history and what people used, and this history is not that far off, because, well, it's my father and grandfather, they carried knives, of course, and my father often carried 3 fixed blade, but small one, just one of those German hunting knives, but what was always on them was a little pocket knife. And well, I can recommend you to look into a Swiss Army knife. Well, unpopular opinion again, because a lot of people say, oh, they are crap, they don't have the great steel, and there is no clip, and there is not this and not that, and there's no glass breaker, and well, but fact is, they are dead cheap, and they are dead reliable. And if you want to get started, this is an old one. If you look at that, it is missing the toothpick and the pincers. I really recommend you get one with pincers and the toothpick. Fishing words, sorry. And I got it on the flea market for €3. And what I recommend is that you get at least a tool combination with a big blade and the small whittling blade. Is, to me, is one of my most used tools and a saw. The saw on every Victorinox is plain awesome. It's just, if you look at that, if you just casually, I'm not using a lot of pressure, and I'm just casually sawing off this little branch. So I made a little notch just to show you how, and if I now take my big blade to carve that notch, now we got this one. Now I'm putting on a little hook. I do this by simply carving off the edges of the hook, and ever so carefully. Please take note, if you're a beginner, always keep your hand away from the blade. If I do this, I lock my elbows if I'm carving towards myself, so that the blade stops. But I strongly recommend you just, for starters, for a starting project, that you carve away from yourself, because better safe than sorry. And if you do this now, just if you carve out a little recession, and don't get eager, just don't use a lot of force, just use the sharpness of the knife to remove the wood. And if you look at that, hey presto, you get a little pot hanger. You could put your pot there. You can use the main blade to carve a little tip. It's just for demonstrational purposes. A hook doesn't need that. And if you look at this, you see, I try to remove the wood in as straight a line as possible. Then I have made a square. I can remove the angles, the edges, so I'm left with something like that. And I always remove these edges and angles from my tip. And what I always like to do, because I'm getting hectic or something, I do something like this. And don't do this, because it's not good for precise cutting. You end up with sometimes maybe something beautiful, but you can't estimate that exactly. If you want, by the way, if you want something to do something like a fire drill, you can now start to remove the material of the tip to create something like a rounded tip. And if you always stick to removing the edges, you can do some pretty precise work like that. See? Well, this also has another valuable tool, and I really recommend you get one with something like this. This is an awl, and this awl is also really great for drilling. If you you need to put your fingers away from the line of the from the direction where it might fold back on onto your finger, but actually that's not a problem. Just don't use a lot of force. This is the thing with Swiss Army knives. They come really sharp, and keep them sharp. Look after your tools, and they look after you. And you don't need a lot of force. Play safe. It's not a contest who's the fastest. You can do things pretty fast, and but practice makes perfect. Play cool, and don't overdo it. It's meant to be fun. Well, I've got another one I can really recommend. This is one I bought new, obviously, and as you can see, I don't know how often these tweezers have saved my day, because, well, you get ticks and stuff or splinters, and it's really handy. What it also has is a little scissor. Some scissors are really great for I'm looking for some birch bark. I had some lying around, but the wind blew it away. Anyway, for cutting birch bark, example given, for making little containers or a birch bark sheath or something like that. These can be really handy. Also, if you want to cut your fingernails, they are really awesome. They are better than a lot of nail clippers I own, and it also got a really sharp and awesome main blade, and little carving blade. This carving blade is really handy if you if you want, maybe you drilled with your awl and you want to carve a recession like that. If you keep in mind, this is a slip joint, so it might fold back on you, but the spring has the leverage is constructed really intelligently, so that there is actually not a huge danger of it folding back upon yourself. Just don't apply a lot of force, and I like to keep my fingers on the blade. Needs a little bit of practice, because you need to always know where the edge is. So again, you need to keep that in mind. And actually, it's an illusion if you are carving stuff that you come out of that without scars. That's not going to happen. So in my backpack, that's over there, I always got my band-aids handy in case I need one. It's a question of what you hurt, and you will cut your fingers. If you don't apply a lot of force, that's not going to be a big problem. Don't overdo this. The blades are very sharp, and you can actually, if you just take it like that, you can see how easily I can remove the bark. To be fair, it's also a little bit rotten, so but if you do this, if you can do this, well, a little bit more force will get you fine shavings. And you can see that was a little bit of an accident. It can happen, especially if you are so silly as to talk to a camera and not look to what you're doing. So don't, especially if you were a beginner, then don't do several things at a time. Just one action and everything will be okay. This one, if you buy it new, it costs around 50 euros, and you got an almost perfect toolbox. You get that perfect little saw again, and you get that all, and you got a little hook, which actually can come in quite handy if you're making cordage. Of course, there you can use this counter twisting action, and you don't need something to strap it to. But on the other hand, I like to have it fixed. I can show you in another video how this hook can be used for making cordage. Another version of the Huntsman is, which I really like a lot, is this one. This is the Huntsman wood. It just has the same tool kit as the one I showed you, the one with the black scales. But it also comes with beautiful walnut scales from local forestry in Switzerland. It's a little bit of love and hate for me, because the scales, you can see they are actually really beautiful, or were at least, but they really do darken a lot if you use them. And so I love to look at it, and I love to use it for occasions where you just want to have a snack or something, which are becoming increasingly rare, because you can't carry any knife in Germany in those weapon restriction areas. Not even a Swiss Army utility knife or anything without legal reason, but the police doesn't know the law. But I'm not getting political here. I just want to emphasize, the wooden scales are really awesome, but well, they are also a little bit sensitive to grimy conditions. Another one, and this is one of my all-time favorites amongst the Swiss Army knives, is this one. This is the Ranger, and what it has is another really valuable tool. Apart from the toolkit of the Huntsman, it also comes with a little file, and this is a metal file. It also has serration which is called a metal saw, but well, it's more like serrations on a file. It does work, but it takes a lot of time to saw through metal. It's not, and you end up with not that clean a cut, because you also have the file on the side, so it creates a lot of friction. So it's not a saw; it's a file, and which is perfectly okay, and also has a lot of other uses, including cleaning your fingernails. My fingernails are notoriously dirty because I'm I'm a smith, and I like to be in the woods. But this might be interesting for you too. And what it also has is another little tool at the back, apart from the hook, is a little wood chisel, like that. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Which is really sharp and comes in really handy if you want to do little mortise and tenon things, or some cold roasting on a spoon or something, or eyes or recessions on something you've carved. It also has the aforementioned hook, and also comes with the awesome awl, which is sharpened on one side. Really a tool I really use a lot. It's comes in handy for so much purposes. I don't want to miss that. Also the wooden saw, small and little blade, and the scissors, which are really awesome. And a lot of people say, well, I don't use all that stuff, and the corkscrew is shit, and this is I don't need that, and that's just it's with gimmick and stuff. I beg to differ, because that's really it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a lot of wood carving, I find I have used all of the tools, every single one of them, including the cup lifter and the can opener and stuff, and they are all coming in really handy. And it's if you the thing is, you need some time to get used to them, and well, that's the thing with army knives. You need to learn to use them, and well, that said, another one I can really recommend for harder use, not that delicate stuff. If you are really working hard with your knife and you need something more sturdy, but still handy, like the others, this might as well be worth to have a look. This is the Farmer X Alox. The scales are made from anodized aluminum, and what you can see is the pivot is pinned over the scales, as is the spring. It lacks a corkscrew. It does come with a really big and powerful awl. You can, which is also great to drill things. It's not made for sewing, but for drilling, and it comes really sharp. It's really a delight to use, and a lot of people say, well, use the awl for using fire steel, but I would not recommend that because this is a really thin tool, and given the sparks are up to 3000 degrees Celsius, you can mess up the temper, and that's not a good thing. You don't want to use your blade for that. Actually, it also comes with a saw. A lot of people like to use the saw for striking a ferro rod, but if you look at the spine thickness, you can see that's not a good idea either. The saw is as efficient as every Victorinox saw, and another specialty is the main blade. If you look at that, it is a little bit thicker than the spine thickness on the little red scaled varieties, and it is a really awesome steel. It's 1.4116, which is steel that is often used for kitchen knives. It is heat treated with a cryotempering, and it just sails through the wood. As you can see, it's I didn't sharpen it before the video. I used it a lot, and but actually, you see, it just sails through the wood, and you can see that it's just a joy to use. When I got it new, I was obsessed with it. I was sitting in the woods for hours on end. I was carving gypsy flowers and feather sticks because it was just so addictive. And you can see it hasn't changed a lot. And it also comes with really awesome scissors again. It's getting dark out, apologies, but I hope you can see how they look. And a cap lifter, which is also a little bit sturdier, and it has a 90-degree option. So this is really valuable for prying, actually. And given the knife in itself, it is really sturdy too. You won't encounter a lot of problems if you don't overdo it, obviously. So, and this is the tin can opener. And if you need to strike a ferro rod, I would recommend two things. Either you can sharpen with a saw file. You can sharpen the inside of the cap lifter to a 90-degree spine, which works thin because it follows the ferro really great because it's also round inside of here, and you won't mess up the temper because first, it is not that important to have maintain the temper as would be with with a blade or something, and so it's maybe, well, it won't be messed up too, because it's a little bit thicker in the spine, and there's no edge to be ruined out. So yeah, and this is not exactly expensive too. That's 63 euros. It's the most expensive knife of them all. And if you get a Swiss Army knife on you, you are in for a lot of possibilities. You can carve tent pegs. You have seen what I've done with the simplest of them. You can make your pot hangers. You can carve a spoon. You can carve a little wood spirit, and a lot of other things. So just get out and get started, and well, I hope maybe you get another perspective, because, well, you don't need to be the next big thing. You don't need to go free solo. You are not Rambo. You are not. Even if you do go on an overnighter, a lot of people think, well, I need my knife as a self-defense against animals. No, you don't, because if an animal attacks you and you have a halfway legal knife that you can carry in Germany, you need a spare for that. If not even wolves won't attack you. Normally not. Foxes don't. Jackals don't. What is really the greatest danger in Germany, that you get attacked by a wild pig. And a wild pig, given that they can get really huge, and if you piss them off, they get really furious, and nobody wants that, and you simply won't do anything with a knife against a wild boar. Not even if you're a experienced survivalist, a special forces guy, or a hunter. You won't do anything with a knife that's under, say, 40 centimeters in the blade. And 40 centimeters, that's right. You need a sword if you want to, or a spear. There's a reason for that. Boar spears are really broad in the blade and really sturdy and really capable of doing stuff like that. So why bother? Actually, if you respect nature and stick to the trails, and or at least if you I'm not on the trail myself either, but I know the terrain, I know what animals are here, and I know I respect the animals. There was a mouse living over there, and it just looked at me and went on its merry way, and I hope it finds some good food. I like wildlife. I admire nature, and if you respect nature, there's nothing that could possibly go that wrong, or you have done something really, really shitty. So you don't need to weigh yourself down with some special forces breaching tool, what have you. It's simply it will weigh you down, it will reduce your fun, and it costs a lot of money. And I'm not saying that you are not allowed to get one. I'm just saying, if you want to get started, that's easy. It's not, you don't need a lot of things. And if you stick to your tools, take care of your tools, and learn how to use them. And so that's everything. That's all. It's not. I just thought I give you a little bit of a little bit of light because it's really getting dark. Um, um, well, so in order to get started, just get yourself a tiny little Swiss Army knife and carve away. Carve a tri-stick, carve a wood spirit. Don't take it too serious. it's really look like the devil himself. Really, I didn't test that out, so apologies for the goofing around. But well, what I wanted to say is it's not in the tool, it's just in what you make of your tools. And obviously good tools are better for your experience, and well, and the Swiss Army knife is a really decent tool. There are maybe better knives, but they are a little bit more expensive too. And actually the other tools on the knife are they are really hard to beat for the price. It's not that you can best that easily, not for the price. And I don't think anyone makes a better package all in all than Victorinox, and I'm not getting paid for that. It's just it's an all-time classic, and well, give it a try if you can get them used. And you can also use obviously another kind of some kind of Barlow or Trapper or Hunter or what have you. There are a lot of knives around that are suitable, and it's not, as I said, it's not in the tool. Get a decent tool, of course. That's not what I'm saying. Get a sharp and resilient tool, and take care of your tools, and you'll be really fine. We'll be doing fine. And well, that said, I really want you to keep in mind it's not always about survival. If you carve a tri-stick, well, that can be beneficial for your survival. It's what you know. It's not what you have. It's what you know, and these techniques can come in really handy, and nothing wrong with something you learn. And but don't take it too seriously. Carve yourself a little gnome or some mushrooms as a decoration for the Christmas tree, or whatever, little toys for the kids. And it can be fun carving with kids. And by the way, these knives, especially the first one, also make awesome first knives for kids. You might get one with a locking blade, and as far as I'm informed, Victorinox still makes one with a shorter locking blade. So that'll be awesome for kids too. So well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will take in the last rays of the sun and have a cup of chaga tea, and then I'll make for home. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I see you next time.